Alright, I'm back, and we're going to talk about the battles here that I mentioned in the last one from HeirofCarthage. And I wanted to show these separately, just so we had time to talk about what he's sending now. When he sends these in, he basically says, and HeirofCarthage's a good player. He's got a pretty solid rank on the leaderboard. We've seen him play before, and I've seen him play against Ninja Hunt and other people. He's a competitive player for sure. He was saying that Raise the Dead is great for harassing armies, and it makes the vampire counts pretty powerful and almost immune to missile units. But he wanted to show these. Obviously, he had something in mind. Let's see what. Both times he's playing as the Wood Elves. Let's take a look at these replays. That's a lot of Starfire Shafts and a Tree Man. All things that can be somewhat difficult for the vampires to deal with sometimes. Now let's look at his army. What he's done differently for me. He's got the Red Duke, which is cool. Like the Red Duke as a leader. But he's brought a couple of corpse cards. Now this is going to give his guy a significant melee boost for cheap units, which is an interesting idea. And he's got the Sternsman to make up a more solid center. Just some Tithe Zombies probably to soak up, or zombies around the way just to kind of soak up hit points or be charge bait. 2 Blood Knights, Verex Reavers. And then he's got the Red Duke on his Hell Steed here. Elf has the Dragon up here skirmishing, similar to what happened against me. They're going to try and assassinate with the Arrows of Kurnos and all the other sniping stuff. And then he's going to hide his army in the woods over here. Oh, Robin's army is the one in the woods. My bad. Sorry. But you can see the vampire player is going for a buff up cheap units kind of idea here and then try and overwhelm the elves with numbers. Robin is going to come over here and harass the Red Duke a lot. And the idea is obviously that he's probably wanted to keep this spellcaster away from his archers. And that makes a lot of sense. Interesting thing is here is he does have spears in the back, but there's no cavalry. He does have the Tree Man too, that'll help. But that's all he has to protect a lot of archers. His front line could get overrun by The Red Duke is not going to die quickly to the skirmishing of the Glade Lord, but he can cause a lot of damage. Let's kind of see how it plays out. Invocation and Heck coming up, so making the vampire use his magic, that's also good. If he's used the magic on Nehek, he can't use it on other things. See, the skeletons here will take a lot of damage. Actually, this is the Sternsman, my bad. But again, their shields are preventing them from taking as much damage as they normally would. The Crypt Ghouls are a faster unit that are going to try and work around the flanks. So that is a good target, I think, for HeirofCarthage. Don't let them get to your archers. Just wipe them out now. Whereas the other units can be held longer by the Eternal Guard. Straight away! Eternal Guard with shields are a pretty decent infantry unit, honestly. For 500, I think they're pretty decent. They're kind of like an all-around decent infantry. Good versus large. They can hold decently versus other infantry. They do a little bit of armor-piercing damage. So you can see he's just going to hold off the vampires from his archers. Again, the Crypt Ghouls were one of the threats, but they're now crumbling. His Tree Man goes into the center. He's trying to smash out the Sternsman. And then over here, again, he's going to attack the Crypt Ghouls. Or no, look at this. Look at that. Nice play. The Prey of, I'm trying to remember what it's called here. Prey of Anath Rama. And then he's going to hit him. Yeah, this is brilliant. Red Duke can't do anything about this. And he could have used it against him in the air, too. Wow, I was lucky the elf player didn't do this to me sooner. Could have wrecked me with this. So yeah, there you go. HeirofCarthage's got you a nice answer if the vampires were trying to do this thing to you while you're using your arrows. Yeah, I'm not... That would be difficult to outplay, to be honest. Because they can do it to you in the air and they can do it to you on the ground. And you're going to have to attempt to get close enough to shut down the archers. It's definitely an interesting play. He's sending the Knights out here. I'm not really sure why. There's nothing the Blood Knights can do out here. He's throwing his cavalry in against his spears, or war dancers. These are war dancers, holy crap. War dancers took a nasty charge. They'll do fine after the charge, but they took a nasty charge. But now the archers, look at this. They definitely should have tried to get around some of these Azrai spears. They are fast though, and it can be difficult. Now the corpse card's going to be focused. It's going to die extremely fast. Yeah, the corpse card's going to get chewed up in a big hurry here. There it goes. And when those things start to fall, the vampires are going to crumble in a big hurry. So here's an example, because I've heard a lot of people saying that it's impossible to use skirmishers against the vampires. Obviously not for the Wood Elves. I think that curse thing where you can pick a unit up like that and freeze them in place, that's pretty serious. And it's a pretty seriously useful tool against a faction that has no skirmishers of its own. And you can see here the Eerie Robin's just going to completely shut down that vampire army. So nice play, and this was educational for me and good to think about, because I know that's obvious. I knew about that curse, but I guess I just didn't think about using it in such an obvious way there, so it kind of makes me feel dumb, but, you know, there you go. It was good. Which one did we watch? Watch 45 or 95, I can't remember. I think that was the one we just watched. Let's watch this one. Nope, this is the one we just watched. My bad. We'll exit out of here and watch the other one. I want to see his other one. My bad. Wasn't paying attention. Quit replay, load replay. There we go. Let's load this one. So this was the other battle I played. Alright, so this time the guy's got a bunch of bats. Cryptors, Vampire Lady with Lore of Death. And he's got the a Mortis Engine. To me, a Mortis Engine's a pretty risky pick, because if the elves do go heavy on the archers, it's going to be extremely risky. But I'll tell you what, though, if that Mortis Engine had been around for me in that game versus the all treekin army that didn't have any archers, a Mortis Engine would have been brutal, especially if it was the Claw of Nagash, because the elves couldn't have caught it, and you could have used it to just suck the life out of their entire army. So, and then you would have been able to finish off their lord at that point. So yeah, the Claw of Nagash would have been brutal against that army I came up with that didn't have any archers. So I think that's a calculated risk as the elves versus the vampires. You could potentially win by tanking up on treekin and tree men, but if they bring something like this, you are in big trouble. I think it's a little safer to try something like what Eerie Robin's trying here, where he can have a little bit of skirmish. The vampires are going to try and push this dragon. The dragon's doing immense damage. It's going to get caught in combat. Let's see what happens. Got Foe Seeker, Vampire Lady. The Red Duke is taking a ton of damage. What happened here? Spirit Leech, good call. It's going to hurt the dragon a lot. Is there a Spell Singer here? Bats come straight in on the archers, but they got shot up so bad that I don't know how effective this is going to be. The archers are not going to take a lot of damage. They would have needed to wait for the infantry or something else to come in and help them, because they're going to lose in melee to the archers. Now the elf dragon gets away here. It can be chased by the vampire lady, but if he can pull them within range of his archers, he should be able to pretty handily deal with... Yep, there you go. There's the curse. That curse is just brutal. It lasts for a long time, and it makes you vulnerable to missiles. Yeah, now he's going to turn around, and the dragon should wreck this vampire lady. She's going to want to run away from that, and then the Red Duke's dead meat. He's just dead man flying right here. Invocation's not going to save him. Not unless the Cryptors punch through the line. The Cryptors here definitely should have pulled through the lines to get to the archers. The Necromancer could have raised the dead. Yeah, there you go. Get some raised the dead. But he's also going to want to charge in and prevent the Red Duke from dying. So it's pretty close here. But if those archers get off a couple more shots, they could kill the Red Duke. But look at that, the Force Dragon routing, and the Vampire Lady could chase him off or hit him with a I don't know if the magic's there, but if they could hit him Earthblood. I didn't see the Spell Singer earlier. Must have missed it.
Attack! Attack! Azrael, attack! Shoot!
Where is the Spell Singer? I'm missing something? Ah, there it is. Holy crap, man. It took me forever to spot that. Alright, now this army makes more sense to me with the Spell Singer being around. The Red Duke has come too close to the archers once again, and although the Vampire had started to pull down some of the archers, look at this. The Mortis Engine has no need to stay this close to all the Elvish units. There you go. The Red Duke's going to get away, so that's a solid play. Still routing, though, for the Glade Lords being chased. But the Vampire Leader can't get very close over here either. And the Elvish archers are falling back and trying to continue to fire. And they're going to get the Mortis Engine here. Just too much range for these archers. The Mortis Engine's not going to be able to escape. So that's going to hurt the vampire resolve pretty badly. So this time, I think a little bit better effort by the vampire player here in terms of trying to stop this, but Eerie Robin's still going to be successful. And now that the archers are free to fire, they're going to wreck the crypt horrors. And once the crypt horrors are out, there's really nothing that can't be dealt with here. The war dancers here with the Azrai Spear will do pretty well versus low armor units like these skeleton warriors. Yep, force dragons off the map though. That was a good play. Like I said, because the leaders can't be over here, it's gonna be too little, too late. The tree man is just gonna hammer the vampire army here, and it can be continually healed by earth blood. So bad situation for the vampires. Good play by Eerie Robin. Now these are interesting. What do you all learn from these? This was interesting to me. I appreciate Eerie Robin sending this in. There's some good ideas on how to still take a skirmishy build with the Wood Elves. Now this obviously not any other faction per se, but it was a good way to take a skirmishy build. Now look at this fight's going on a little longer than I expected. Yeah, okay, so the Sternsmen are still around. They're going to be a little bit tougher nugget to crack. And then you still have the Vampire Lady here, but she's going to get chewed up by these Eternal Guard with shields. So yeah, this is actually over. This is pretty straightforward, because there's nothing the Vampire could do about the Tree Man. So yeah, interesting, like I said, interesting way for Eerie Robin to show us how to play skirmishy against vampires that just like to raise the dead all over your face. So I guess the interesting question I would have for Eerie Robin if he watches this is, have you come up with any ways as the dwarves to protect yourself versus the raise the dead? That would be an interesting one to me, because I'm not sure there are a lot of ways. Now this makes a lot of sense, how to protect yourself and raise the dead. And I could see the Empire potentially pulling off something similar too with the Net of Hamantok coming off the Light Wizard. They might be able to pull off something similar, but of course, you know, the vampires may try to fight differently against the Empire too. But I don't know, just a thought. But like I said, I'd be curious if Eerie Robin does watch this, if he has any other comments on kind of how he might try and handle that with the dwarves, or if there's not a good way to handle it and you just gotta not take those kind of armies with the dwarves because there's other options, or what. What do you all think? Do you have any dwarf builds that you think can resist the Raise the Dead? Any Empire builds that you like for resisting that Raise the Dead? Curious to hear your thoughts. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. It's been fun. See you later.